Hi everyone, it's Keti. Welcome to the FunLife Planner 2024. This little cotton covered planner is an A5 size. It's nice and compact so you can easily pop it into your bag or basket. I find that when a planner is compact, you're more likely to take it out with you. So let me guide you through this mini course, and thank you for being here with me today. This planner has taken a long time to create. It's been about 20 years in the making. Since I was about 10 or 11 years old, I've been crazy about planners. And sometimes I just used to go into supermarkets or bookshops just to find planners and go through them and see, what qualities they had. I find that organization of projects as an artist doesn't necessarily fit in with the stereotypical planner that we have, because they're often made for people who are working 9 to 5 and tend to do a lot of their fun stuff outside of work. And there's not really space to add your fun activities. Now, I work all sorts of crazy hours. I'm a dance and somatics teacher and a writer. So I do a lot of product content, and I tend to work strange hours. Sometimes I do my classes at night or on the weekends, so a regular planner doesn't work for me. Hence, I have created the FunLife Planner with a double page spread, a vertical spread with an hourly time tracker from 6 in the morning to 9 at night, plus FunLife goals. So let me take you through this little planner and tell you what's the best way of using it. The whole idea of the FunLife Planner was to look at your patterns, find the patterns and the rhythm that works best with you, that makes your life flow more harmoniously in terms of having fun and getting projects done. Now, if you're an artist or a creative, you're going to find this especially useful because a lot of the artistic practices you have are also fun. So you kind of have a work-life balance that's a bit unusual. And, the world's changing. A lot of us are doing online stuff and things aren't the same as they used to be. We're working from home more. And, basically this planner will work for anyone. There are 4 colours. That's the coffee bean colour, the lovely seashell beige colour, the hot pink that I'm holding here, and we have the pale pink or blush colour. So let's begin. This planner has nice blank and thick pages. It was very important for me to use a really good quality paper that's heavier than normal. One reason is when you're writing with pen, it's just nice not to have the pen going through to the other side. Now, I like to use these pages here, the beginning ones, to do some kind of a vision board. So that would be ideal to create a vision board, which is simply just cuttings of things that spark in your mind or imagination, something that you would like or desire or come to fruition. A lot of what we create is spirit to matter, or an idea that becomes real. So I do believe in creating a vision board, or even drawing diagrams here of how you might like your life to look. If it's not diagrams, maybe a beautiful quote or a beautiful picture that inspires you. Okay, so let's begin. The very first pages we have here, it's your yearly overview. Now, with a year overview, I just like to see my year in a flash like that, so I can see the times and the days, that I need to look out for. And sometimes if I've got like a block of holidays, I'll get a highlighter and I'll block out a couple of weeks of holidays there, another week of holidays there. If I have like special events, I might actually use my pink highlighter and just go over one little day like that, or a full weekend, and that will show me that that's a time of a special event. So I normally use this page here to highlight the big events, either if it's an important event or holidays or something really special that I need to remember. Then we go into this section here, which is dreams and goals. It's got your master list and project list. So we begin with this very first page here, and your dreams and goals. So in the first page, it's my intentions for the year that you can sign and date. I find that if you have a few principles or intentions that you work with for the whole year, and you're really always guided by those principles, everything else you do seems to fall in line. So your principles might be, I only do things I find energizing and fun this year, and I make sure to spend a lot of time with the people I love and I schedule that time. It could be as simple as that. Or it could be, I really devote myself to fitness this year and being healthy and also extending that to my family. Or it could be, this year I endeavor to be kind to everyone around me, and if anyone is draining, I gracefully bow out. It could be, I dedicate myself to everything I do and I give myself an hour a day just for self-development time. So whatever your intention is, that's yours. It's your idea. It could be something completely different. Okay, then you have your dreams and goals. Now, with your dreams and goals, every month, I just like to plant a seed there, and that's just a title. And I say maybe 1 to 2 goals is enough. Maybe 3 maximum. There's small spaces, but this is something so that your eye can say, boom, January I'm working on health. February I have a book that I'm starting to write. By March I want it edited. April I'd like to look at the printer, and by May I'd like it printed. Something like that. Or in June I'm just focusing on holidays and that's me time. Or in July I'm going to do a Pilates course or a fitness instruction course, etc. So you can have your key goals each month that are just, a few words that remind you of where your attention is going to be. Then we have our FunLife projects area. So you can see that with FunLife projects, you have a project title and a project description of the result. So name your project. Just for example, I know a lot of people like to get fit, so make it quantifiable. So just for example, project title, get fit and lose 5 kilos or release 5 kilos. Some people don't like the word lose because they think you can find it again. So release, and then describe the desired result. I want to feel fit and healthy and more alive in my body. Okay, and then your project stages or steps and the due date. On this date, I am going to find someone who can support me with an eating plan. On such and such a date, I'm going to book into a gym. I'm going to be accountable by making sure I do it 3 times a week, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and the due date is really important too. So if we go into that, you can see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on each page. Now there's 1, 2, 3 pages. So that makes 12 major life projects for the year. You can divide it into months, or you can make it something you do every quarter. Like every quarter I've got 3 main projects, or even every a few months I just focus on one stream of projects, and then I go on to this stream of projects, and lastly that stream. Okay, now you have a master list there, see with the check boxes. Now what's great about a master list is that when you see those things being checked off, you feel really satisfied with yourself, you feel a sense of accomplishment. And other people are a bit different. They actually want to see it gone and the list to keep running. So this pen, these are great pens. They are actually erasable. See that little end bit there? It's an erasable pen. So some people like to keep their master list going. There are 18 things there. I often work in 3s, 6s, 8s and 9s because I just find that, if you've got these nice numbers, you can also work very well with structure. So with this, you can just list projects as they come up, or main goals that you want to hit from the master list, or things you need to accomplish and finish off, and then you tick them off. Or if you want a running list, you use again an erasable. Some people like to use pencil and eraser. I'm not a big fan of pencils and erasers because pencil is a little bit messy, whilst these pens, there's something about writing in pen, it's very grounding. Even if it's an erasable pen, if it's written, it normally happens. There's something about writing that's just even different to writing things down online on a computer. Okay, and again, more blank pages. I try and keep blank pages everywhere for notes or scribbles. Now we go into the monthly planner, which has got your moon phases and main events as well. I'll tell you why. Because every month we look at how you can structure your month at a glance. It's important to look at our cycles And how does your cycle feel? How does your rhythm feel? So, for example, in January, you see that we have a new moon and then a full moon. Okay, the new moon's on the 11th of January and the full moon's on the 26th of January. Traditionally, the lunar cycle was something that created a sense of beginning a project, and that's normally at the more introspective time of the new moon or the dark moon, when there's no moon in the sky. It looks like there's no moon. And then the project comes to fruition around the full moon. That's normally a good time for an event launch or to bring something out or to make the project happen. So let's say if you wanted something to start, you might find your rhythmic cycle begins around the new moon time and then it finishes at the full moon. And it could even go across a few months and start on a new moon and finish, say, a few months down the track on a full moon down there. But basically, it's just a guide for those people who like to flow with a particular cycle called the lunar cycle. It's actually nice for women too. So every month you have your major overview with enough room just to pop a few little main events in there. What I like to do is sometimes, if I've got holidays, I highlight whole chunks of days from that week or that month. And if it's a special event, I might highlight it in a colour, like say, pink if for a special event, and maybe green if it's like tax time or something like that. I highlight that day, it's a financial day. I do like to keep a set of highlighters that are like a key. That really helps me visually find the rhythms as well. I'll tell you a bit about that later. So every month you can see your month at a glance, and then you have 6 main things that you want to remind yourself about fun. How am I going to have fun this month? Okay, I love the beach personally. So I want to make sure every week I go to the beach at least twice for a walk. Walk at the beach twice, grab a coffee at the end. And I'll think of all the fun things. Go to the park with my daughter at least once a week. I'll think of all the fun things to do. And then life, what needs to be done in life? Okay, I have to write 3 chapters of my book. I need to make sure I pay my taxes. I need to make sure that I do a big spring clean of the garage. Okay, so 6 fun reminders, 6 life reminders, and a message to yourself. This month I will be kind to myself and I will remember to drink a lot of fluids during the day. Something, honestly, the simple life is good. You don't have to get really complex. Sometimes it's the little things and the simple things that really help. And some notes. So there might be a birthday or an event, or just make sure you don't forget this special date, some bill is due or something. So that's your month at a glance. Okay, so we have that for every single month up until December. And then of course we've got notes at the end again. I love my notes pages because it just means that whenever you have a brain flash, you've got space to write those notes. Now let's look at your weekly schedule. It has an hourly time block and we're looking at FunLife balance. So this is the way that your weeks are laid out every single week. Okay, so the nice thing about this is that every single day, your day is done in hourly increments from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Now there's small spots, so you don't have to throw a lot of information in there, but just say I've got something happening at 9 a.m., important strata meeting, and then what I might do is I might make a note saying #1, and I'll go to the back of my book and I'll start from the back, #1, strata meeting. Please make sure you're at this address at this time and this is the phone number. So here it's a really quick overview of what you're doing, whilst later on you can get into the fine details by adding a little hashtag or a number next to it, and there's lots of blank pages right at the back so that you can start keeping notes at the back. So you've got your reminders again, 6 life reminders, 6 fun reminders, 6 budget reminders, and your notes section. I believe that if we keep reminding ourselves of what's due, what's important, and what we need to focus on, it just helps our mind refresh and remember where it needs to be, or where we need to be physically. Now, there's a to-do list here. I'm a Virgo, so I love my to-do lists. I know you can get swamped with to-do lists, so I made sure I don't make anything too long. Again, I often love to work in sixes. Okay, so let's look at the to-do list. We have 6 top priorities, 6 medium priorities, and 6 lower priorities. That means that you work from the top. You make sure that those top priorities get most of your attention. Because if you can smash the top goals, I guarantee you get closer to finishing your project. Now, I enjoy working with different colours, and I'm going to do a little sample of that. Just for example, if I've got anything non-negotiable and I know I have to do it, it's an appointment and it's locked in, I use a normal pen. If it's something that might be able to be rescheduled, it's not confirmed, it's on a sliding scale, I will use my erasable pen. Now, if I use my main pen and I know it's locked in, then I like to use my highlighters as well, because once I have everything that's locked in, I find that I start to see a rhythm developing. Oh, okay, my exercise is best in the mornings. When I schedule it in the evenings, it doesn't work. How do I know it doesn't work? Because what I like to do with all these hourly segments is, if it's done, it gets a tick. Or you can cross it out. You can use your own system. But for me, what works best is a little tick. If it doesn't get done, a cross, that didn't get done. And if it has to be moved, I put a little arrow in it saying it's got to be moved to another time. So then I can quickly assess my sheet at the end of the week, and I can say, okay, when I exercised in the morning, it seemed to get done. But every time I shifted my exercise to like after lunch, I noticed it didn't get done. All right, so it's for you to start finding your patterns through the whole week. Daytime, nighttime, and weekends. Because weekends aren't just blank space and blank time where you can do anything. You can actually switch off for big chunks of time. You can block off a whole half day to do nothing. Just say, relax and do anything. But it's important to start to find your patterns. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of how I might do something here. Now, what I like to do is have keys. And I'm going to show you how I work with keys. For example, my Pilates classes, I always put them in this color blue. It's like an aqua kind of blue. And I just know visually, oh, I got 3 Pilates classes this week because I see 3 little blue marks. My Pilates classes are something non-negotiable to schedule in. And my belly dance classes, because I teach belly dancing, I put them in orange. So I know whenever I have a class, it's orange. Anything to do with my daughter is yellow. So that's her color. I know that if I have to pick her up from school or drop her off, there's always yellow at the beginning of the day and yellow at the end of the day. That's me picking her up, dropping her off. And if she has some special things on the weekends, they're yellow. I know they belong to my daughter. If I have a special event or something that's really important, I use my pink. If I have something that's financial and due and needs attention, I then use green if it's a financial thing. If it's something to do with travel or journeys or movement, which I do a lot of, I use dark blue. If I do something for my course development or online projects, I use purple. And lastly, if it's something that's self-care and nurturing, I use pink. So that's just to show you my personal key, because it might inspire you, or you might not even be interested in having a key. But I do guarantee you, especially if you're a visual person, a key will help keep you on track. So let's do this. Let's go to our very first day, okay? We're going to the 1st of January, which all the planner addicts will absolutely love the fact that January starts on a Monday. So we're going to do something now. Okay, I know that I do non-negotiable Pilates classes. First, of course, I have to check if they're all running on a Monday. But basically, I know that I love my 6:30 a.m. class. So I'm going to, because there's no 30, I'm going to write at 6 a.m., 6:30 Pilates. So I just go 6:30 Pilates. And I do it Wednesday, 6:30 Pilates, and Friday, 6:30 Pilates. Now, I know that my Pilates is non-negotiable, and it's nice having it written, but let's just see how much nicer it looks and how much more of a visual cue I get when I see my 3 Pilates classes in blue. Okay, that makes me know that Pilates class happens then. Pilates, to me, is a very focusing time, and of course, it helps me feel a lot better in my body. But for me, it's a non-negotiable. When Keti does Pilates, she feels better, she feels stronger and more focused. That's it. That's why I do it. So Pilates becomes a non-negotiable. However, I might that morning want to meet a friend. Now, it might be a friend that I know reschedules a lot. So what I might do with my erasable is I might say on Wednesday, meet my friend. And you know what? I won't, until they actually say, yes, we're going to meet, and it'll become a proper meeting, I won't schedule that in. When they say yes, well, it's an erasable pen, but it's still a pen, so I can easily go over it with a highlighter, and I can also easily rub it out like that. Okay, so if they flip the meeting and it's not there, I rub it out and I have a clean space again. So you want to start looking at what you do, when you do. Okay, so for example, I love my Pilates in the morning, that's important, but I also like to schedule 2 fun beach walks. So let's say for fun, I'm going to do 2 times beach walks, and they're going to be 40 mins each. Okay, I've just written it there, 2 times beach walks. Okay, so I look now at the time I want to do my beach walks. Okay, obviously I've got Pilates on those days, so beach might be good on a Tuesday and a Saturday, for example. So I'm going to schedule my beach walk, because I like my early mornings, 7 a.m. Beach, walk, and Saturday. Beach, walk. Okay, beach walk and beach walk. To me, I know it's a funny thing, but beach walks to me mean movement, mean traveling, and I have to get in the car and travel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that beach walk dark blue. 1, 2. So now I know that I have my beach walk scheduled then. And the thing is, sometimes the beach walk means I have to travel. So that like 40-minute beach walk plus the time I get a coffee and come home might be 3 hours out of my day. So there are 2 ways you can do it. You can highlight 3 stripes. So beach walk might be 3 blues like this. Okay, so that's all beach walk. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is you can actually make a full highlighted chunk. That's my beach walk there. Or if you want to be a little neater and you don't like the feeling of having too many chunky blues, you can do something like that, where I just make a little marker and I know that's all going to be beach walk. And then I might put a little note in there. I might make notes like wear a hat, get coffee. So what I've done is I've actually used that space for notes as well, for reminders. Okay, so I know it's going to be a hot day. Okay, so then we start to fill in all the other gaps, and I might decide, just for example, to get my hair done on a Friday at 10 a.m. Okay, hair is a nurturing thing for me, so I know that's a 2-hour chunk or so. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 hours out for the hair. I might have my bill due. I know that on the 7th, it's a Sunday, I have a bill due, but I know it's due, so I make it Friday, and I go in budget, bill due for loan, and I say how much it is. It's a $1,035 loan that month. Okay, so the bill is due. Not only do I have it there, but I make sure it's scheduled, so it's not just a pie in the sky idea, it's scheduled. So for fun, I'm going to make sure I also get my hair done. That's a little pampering and fun. My bill, okay, so my bill is due, so I'm going to pay my bill on Friday at 9 a.m. before my hair. Bill paid. Okay, so I know that the bill will be paid at 9 o'clock. Let's see, life. What do I have to do in life? And I'm actually using real samples of my life here. Life, okay, so that is edit 3 chapters of the book. That's a life thing I have to do, okay? The next one is to contact publisher. Okay, so these are two things that are in my life section there. Okay, I got it there. There. Two things. So I don't leave them floating around like ideas. I schedule them back in. So, okay, I have to edit 3 chapters. Now, I know that editing 1 chapter normally takes me about 3 hours. So I've got to find 3-hour blocks in my diary. I know that I work best in the mornings. I'm sharper. So I'm going to say Monday morning, I'm going to edit at 9. Edit, book, and that's going to be 1 chapter. I know that Wednesday I can do the same. Edit, book, 1 chapter, and I might leave the last one for Friday afternoon. I might do it after lunch. Edit, book, 1 chapter. Okay, now editing the book is something that I do online, so it's purple. Okay, so edit book 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't have to be neat as long as it's working for you. Okay, so that's me looking at, the hourly thing. Now, if I wanted to make that chunky and make it look as though it's complete blocks of time, I would then do something like this. Just give me a sec. So I start to get a different feel when I see blocks of time. Visually, you've just got to make it work for you. What makes you find your patterns the best? What makes you happy when you look at your FunLife planner? Okay, beach walks. I'm going to make that. For me, there's something about the coloured block that actually feels really solid. I like that. Okay, here we go. Can you see my pattern is beginning to form? And have you seen I've left Sunday completely free? You don't have to have something happening all the time. You just schedule what some people call the big rocks. They're big things that you need to do. Now, I know that all these things are really non-negotiable, and I know that there are a few things that I can put in later that will, just come in and become solid. And as soon as they're solid, I mark them off. If they're not solid, I don't. Now, I know that weekend my daughter wants to have a friend over. So Seraphina's friend over, they want a play date. Okay, because it's my daughter, I know it's yellow, and I know it's going to be a 3-hour date. I make sure I contact her mum. Now, I know she's going to have a play date, but what do I need to do? I'm working backwards now. I've scheduled that in, but there are still a few things I need to do. I'm going to put that under fun. I'm going to set up a cooking play date, and I'm going to call Karen's mum, and I'm actually going to invite her for a coffee as well. Okay, now because of that play date, there it goes, I've then scheduled in a few things I need to do. Now those things need to find a place here, so nothing is here in these areas without finding a home somewhere in your hourly planning stages. So okay, so I need to set up a cooking play date. I can do that on Saturday, right at the end of the day. Okay, at 4 p.m. I'm going to set up the cooking play date. And I'm going to get everything out and put it out really nicely. That means I have to go shopping. So that means at 3 o'clock I have to go shopping. Okay. And when will I call her mum? I think I should call her mum really early in the week. I'm going to actually make sure I call her mum at 12 noon. Call Karen's mum. And I'm going to invite her for coffee. Now, Karen's mum will be over, so I'm going to make sure just before that I have coffee and cake ready. Coffee and cake ready. Okay, coffee and cake ready. Karen's mum. Okay, so these are special events to me. Coffee and cake ready and Karen's mum coming for a coffee. That would be hot pink, okay, because that's a little special event for me. Now, an errand or something I have to do, I would normally, make it, like if it's a call or something I have to do, I usually just use my purple again. Call Karen's mum. Set up the cooking and shopping is a financial thing to me. So I've got to remember you've got to have some money when you're shopping. So there I go, shopping, it's in green. And then setting up the cooking, I'll do it in purple there, because for me, anything in purple is kind of like an activity or something online or something that you do. Okay, it's the doing stuff. Right, so can you get a sense now of things are taking shape? Things are working out. Now, what do I see? I need more time with my daughter. Okay, see that yellow part there? I need more time with her. So, okay, what can I do? I'm going to bring Seraphina on my beach walks, and then afterwards we're going to do something just for her. We're going to go to the park. Okay, so at the end of every beach walk, we're going to go to the park. Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds like something fun to do. Park, and then because I'm going to the park, I'm going to write it in. Go to the park, and we're going to get ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Now, I know that because we're going to the park and we're getting ice cream, I don't really have to get a lot of desserts outside of that. Okay, that looks a bit better. I'm now spending more time with my daughter. Okay, so I've got my Pilates there. I've got my action things for my book. I've got my 2 lovely walks. I've got some financial stuff to deal with. And I've made sure I'm spending time with my daughter. Also doing some nice stuff for myself. Okay, so everyone, that's how we use the planner, and you find that as the pages fill up, you see your patterns, and every week you just revise your patterns. How is your pattern going? Right at the end, we have your notes and ideas, and that's simply just, blank pages. And again, they're nice and thick. If you want to order your planner next year, here are all the details, and there are also the details of the Facebook group, because we have a lovely community and we can share together. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you being here with me, and I hope this has helped you. I love this planning system. It's fun, and again, it's all about fun and life. I'm Keti, and I look forward to seeing you on the Facebook group in 2024.